Good morning, ladies. Thanks so much for reading my blog and for your wonderful comments. They really motivate me. And that's what my subject today is about how you can, as a homekeeper, be motivated. When you are home full-time, you don't have a manager, you don't have a time card, you don't have any time limits, you don't have a dress code, you haven't got a manager standing over you, giving you a job evaluation. Your success or failure is dependent on you, and you have to learn how to create your own motivation. And one of the things that helps is, before you go to sleep at night, to list just 3 urgent things that you know should be done the next day. I usually just write dishes, laundry, meals, or beds, floors, and clutter, or post office, letters, and clean the sewing room, something like that. And then, once those are written down, the next day you can have the feeling that something at least will be completed. If you only complete one of those things, just add the other 2 things back on the list the next day of your 3 things. So you'll still have 3 things. And then you will find that you aren't just frantically rushing from one unfinished thing to another, but something will be completed. This list goes a long way to settling your mind and creating motivation. Number 2, the next morning, take care of your appearance first. It's very, very easy when you're at home, especially when there aren't any time schedules and no one's watching you, to get up and start walking around while you're still in your pajamas, and you don't realize that you can be much more motivated if you'll take care of your appearance first. Your shower, your grooming, wearing something very nice so that you feel dressed up and ready to, as though you were going somewhere and ready to work. And I myself am a mood dresser. I think some days are more red and some days are more yellow, and other times I prefer blue, but it's just a motivator to me, the color and clothing. And so you might try this and pay attention to your skincare and to your hair. It makes you stand up straighter. It makes you work with more of a professional attitude. Have your favorite aprons, clean apron every day. That makes such a difference. Then when you work, another motivation factor is to do it as though you are expecting company, or there is company there. And you'll find that it makes such a difference, and you're thinking beyond what you require, and you're thinking about what others may like. And so if you know that in your heart you're going to entertain somebody really important, especially the unseen guest, Jesus Christ, in our home every day, you're going to reach above and beyond the mediocre. You're not going to just take a swipe at something just to get by. You're going to do a really good job at everything. Then there is the other thing, and that is the reward. Give yourself a reward every day. There isn't going to be anyone giving you a bonus. There's not going to be anyone who says you did. Very few people will tell you you did a good job. And if you start depending on your family and other people to praise you for everything you do, you may get a little bit disappointed if you're dependent on that for your motivation. So you have to be motivated by your own desire to see success, and no matter what people say or don't say. And so give yourself a reward. I like to call a friend, and my friends and I motivate each other, and we ask what we did today, and we tell each other what our successes and failures were. And to me, it's a great motivation. And a reward might be something that you like to do that has nothing to do with getting anything done or with housework. It might be a hobby you like, or you're sewing, or just reading, or watching your favorite movie. It's so exciting to have a reward that you picked, that you want to do. The other thing is that your home is like a palace. You are the queen over this place that you're presiding over, and you're guarding and guiding your home so that your family has something worthwhile to live in, that's clean and tidy and comfortable and safe. And so I'd like to just remind you what all those things are. First of all, make your list the night before of 3 things. When you get up in the morning, number 2, make sure that you take care of your appearance first and foremost. And number 3 is to work as though you are expecting company. And number 4 is to give yourself a reward. I'd like to add something else to this too, that you might want to do shortly after you get up, maybe even before you get dressed, and that is to put some kind of a meal in the slow cooker. If you're familiar with that, that gives you some confidence that at least part of your meal, maybe your main dish, is on its way, being prepared. You don't have to have quite so much worry or anxiety about it, and all you have to do later on is maybe your last minute preparations. And then I'd like to also address some young ladies who have written to me over the last few months about how can they feel motivated when they desperately want to leave home, get married, and have their own house, but it hasn't happened yet, and they just don't feel a strong motivation at home, and they can't afford to pay rent, and they just really don't feel that they have a purpose. And what I would say to them is, if you'll take care of yourself and take care of your own things and not be a burden to the rest of your family, not cause other people to have to pick up after you, to do your own laundry, and to also help when you see something that needs to be done. If you see something that needs to be cleaned or picked up or done, or some unfinished job, whether it's your responsibility or not, if possible, do whatever it takes to make life easier for your parents. And this is your training for your future home. And if you can't take care of yourself now in your own room and clean up after yourself, you will not be happy in your own home, and you will not be motivated, nor will you be a better homekeeper. So your home with your parents is your training, your future training. Take advantage of that and do what you can to make life better for your parents, and you will see a big difference in your motivation. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and please leave me a comment and tell me how you get motivated. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.